Like to call the regularly scheduled audit committee meeting to order for March the 9th at 9:35. Secretary called roll.
Councilmember Gino is absent. Councilmember Rizal.
Here.
Councilmember Trufant is outlined.
Here.
At this time, we have a quorum. I'd like to ask, want to lead us in the pledge? Mr. Vaughn, you want to lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, just had a brief discussion. We had a legislative audit, two-day workshop for the last 2 days, which Travis attended and several other representatives from the parish attended. I'll give you a copy of that, which is the course outline and presentation that was made. It was very enlightening. We had people from the assessor was there, the hospital board was represented, the sheriff's office was represented, and it was a very informative meeting. There'll be some more courses coming our way, so I encourage anybody that can make it to make it. It was a 2-day free workshop, and it was well attended. In fact, they made the statement that it was the best attended workshop that they had, and it covered things like open meetings, conflicts of interest, auditing, financial statements, and everything that you see in there. So, Travis, if you want to comment on what you got out of it.
I mean, one of the things, like you said, was informative. I kind of got a better understanding of what auditing is, and what's the process in that aspect of accounting and business, and a lot of different things about conflict resolution, which was a very important course that I think we kind of deal with a little bit around here. Understanding where we're going with our audits and how to get them conducted, and just the structure of what we need to understand in order to properly have everything in order to be able to represent to you all the delegation of duties, understanding just the process overall, how to make things run smoothly in the whole parish, whether it's auditing, whether it's with the council, whether it's with the committee, whether it's with a supervisor and employee. We got an understanding of a lot of different things.
So it was a pretty good workshop, and the best thing about it, it was a free workshop put on by the state legislative auditor, Jennifer Shea, who is the executive counsel for the legislative auditor, who's a presenter, as well as the other top individuals in the state legislative auditor's office there, Mr. Cole, and I thought it was well worth attendance.
Did we just have any discussion on the ethical thing as far as we having the question keep coming up about abstaining from a vote?
They didn't get into the abstaining from votes, but they did cover ethics and open meetings in our courses, and they gave examples, and so it wasn't specifically about the abstaining from the vote. But the issue didn't come up. Yes,
Was this a presentation that you could get transcripts of, or how would the public know? Like the information you're gaining as a public official, but how would
I would think that you go to their website and see what they have posted. They continuously reference their website for information.
Okay.
They continuously said that their website was a wealth of information for forms, for ideas, and
Do you know what their website is?
Is it ethics.la.gov?
No, this is for the state legislative auditor.
Okay.
I guess you could go to it's LA.la.gov.
LLA.
Yeah, but I guess you would have to have a name. So if you wanted to go to first Mr. Battle, I'm not sure what you Google it.
What is the director's name?
Dal Papella is the state legislative auditor.
Okay.
If you want to go to Google lla.la.gov, I'm sure it'll pop up.
Okay.
That's all right. Okay, well, that was briefly a little new business discussion. We'll go to item number 3.
Update on the audits and the presentation by Ms. Stacy, internal auditor.
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Ms. Daisy sent an email in this morning that she will not be here today. Same email that she sent all week. So we haven't seen Ms. Daisy for the entire week. And this is becoming an issue. It is presenting a problem for our efforts to move forward with auditing. We have one individual, Mr. Travis Fontenot here, who is the assistant. We have taken, at least I've taken the position that Ms. Daisy, as the chief internal auditor, gives direction to Mr. Fontenot, but in the lack of her appearances, then we're going to have to rethink our work effort. I'm not sure, if she's going to overcome whatever her personal issues are and start coming to work. But we have had an analysis done of the payroll since January, and over 50% of the time she has not come to work. So her attendance is becoming an issue, has been an issue, and somehow we're going to have to work through this. So, having said that, we don't have any updates to offer today unless, Travis, you have anything that you'd like to present?
I would just like to ask Mr. Travis, have Ms. Stacy given you any type of instruction in her absence?
No communication. The only communication I told Mr. Russo, that as far as the year-end report from last year, that's been done. The one that we were arguing about last week, that's been done. As far as that, I've been working on new reports, the mileage and expense reports, but as far as any of the audits that we came to an agreement on, haven't had any communication about that. This, I guess, is whatever you all want to go next.
Right, well, what I would suggest that we do, if we have a lack of attendance on Ms. Daisy, that you pick up the first one.
Okay.
And start gathering some information on that to get us into at least some work product production, to be able to move a little bit forward. It's a little frustrating for me, but when I got this position, I intended to do some audits and some work and make the audit committee function. And so we've got to find a way to make that happen. Anything else on this item? We have none. Anybody on this item?
Yeah, I guess I just want to make a comment as a citizen. We've come to something, I don't know why, if this was private industry, and you had an employee in this situation, I'm sure civil service requires a certain letter, verbal reprimand, a letter reprimand, but this has been going on so long that it makes a joke out of how a business would operate, how government should operate. I hate to say it, but I work through a civil service system, and there's a reason why you do things and how you document as you go along, and that it should not have taken this long to either do a termination or something. And I don't know the case I even mentioned before. I didn't think it should be held in a public forum when you're discussing personnel matters, and that's a personnel matter. But neither be the case. From the public, we sit here and we look at, and this is not just started with Ms. Daisy. I've been to the audit committee meetings before you were elected. You were at audit committee meetings, and there was a lack of production done then, and I find out it's still even worse now. And I guess it's just a comment, but I guess my question is why is it taking so long to take disciplinary action? And what disciplinary action has taken to this point? Is that a fair question?
2 points. First of all, personnel matters can be taken up in public or executive session.
Okay.
It is up to the individual employee whether they want to go into executive session or they want their issue to be heard in public session. If the employee requests executive
Okay.
session, we would go into executive
Okay.
session.
All right, well,
The second
that's-
part of your question, or the second question is that what disciplinary action has been taken to date? We came into this, at least I came into this position February the 3rd, I believe it was. All right, and we are now at March the 9th.
Right.
So we've been here about, what, 40 days maybe? Maybe 36, do the math. Since then, we have had verbal reprimands, a warning, coaching, and a suspension without pay. And that's where we're at today, where we've had a progressive disciplinary policy implemented as civil service rules require. So I believe we are on target and following the civil service rules on the disciplinary policy.
And I guess my question goes further then, is that, I know this committee came in February, but this council had a previous committee, and I don't know if her attendance was perfect and everything was going fine with, I don't even know who sat on who's chair of the last audit committee. But why wasn't action taken by the people who were on that committee instead of dumping it in your lap in February and say, straighten it out?
I think that's what Mr. Russo is saying, that we can't vouch for what happened previous.
No, but somebody should,
Coming on board.
from the,
But I mean, Mr. Lawrence, and I hear your point is well taken, and I'm just saying exactly what you're saying, but that can apply to almost any part of our structure. We're not just having a problem, probably a little bit worse with the auditor position, but you can go throughout the government, and you have some of the same issues.
and if Ms. Daisy isn't doing her job, the public ought to know that the previous, whoever sat on this committee didn't do their job. And that should be brought out, because if you're a councilman and you sit on a committee, you become, have some fiduciary responsibility to run that committee. And if they didn't know it, then I think the public should know on what didn't take place. I know, you doing your job now. I guess I, as a citizen, I pay taxes, and I said, why? Who was on a committee, and why wasn't it done by them? I know you can't answer from, but who was on a committee?
Actually, I'd have to get the records to find out exactly, because I didn't participate in the audit committee since I wasn't a part of the audit committee.
Well, I know Mr. Burke, because I went to some of them with Mr. Burke, and I thought it was Mr. Juno.
Bird, Juno, and myself
Right,
previously, but you need to understand, and if you were around, as long as you're saying that you were around, you wouldn't realize and remember that this came out of very contentious, this situation came out of a contentious lawsuit. So that was,
I didn't know that.
yeah, so that was issues that caused us to be very careful in our approach.
Okay. Well, I guess when the public don't know that a lawsuit held it up, that's fine. That's, I guess, something that we don't know. And I'm just speaking for myself, I'm not trying to.
It's my understanding that Ms. Daisy was terminated, went through the civil service process, and was reinstated.
Okay.
And so, whatever went on there, that's about the extent of my knowledge. And
And from the public, my understanding was that because they didn't follow the right steps in terminating. And I think you're now taking the steps to do it properly.
but I'm not saying that I'm going to terminate her.
No, I mean, discipline them.
Right, and I'm going through the disciplinary channels.
But see, Ms. Lawrence, if I may be, what happened there, it was a change of power that was tenured. Even that was P.B. Griffin, I think previous committee members. And when you say that they didn't follow procedure, it was a change of tenure that caused us to be at where we are now. Because if I remember correctly, Mr. Griffin, Edgecombe, and someone else previously sat on that committee. into,
Mr.
and it was turned
The
out,
restaurant, at one time,
Those guys
Mr.
were-
Peoples was in charge then.
those guys were turned out, so then it was constant changing of guards that led you to things not being accurate.
Okay. And I just want to make sure you understand, I'm not taking anything against this committee. I'm just saying is when the public looks at it and sees this going on for so long, and whether it goes back to, this is a committee of the council, set by charter. And I guess when I say, is it a functional piece of government working? And my answer is it's not functional. It's not functional. And how long has it not been functioning, this audit committee? I don't mean the committee, the auditor who's in charge of it.
Right, but Mr. Warren, all I can tell you is that
Okay.
I'm going to follow
Right.
the procedures and policies and try to make the committee functional. You know, like I said, we've been here 36 days or whatever it is. We've already been through progressive disciplinary actions. We will continue to try to get the committee to function. We will continue to try to work with Ms. Daisy as much as possible. You know, if she doesn't come to work, then you can't work with her. And that's one of the biggest issues that we have right now is attendance, besides the fact that she refuses to follow time clock policy. So that's where we're at. Yes, ma'am.
I'm real uncomfortable with open discussion about personnel issues. You are correct that the employee has the right to decide whether or not they want to have their personnel issues discussed in open forum or in executive session. But prior to those discussions, that employee should receive written notification. So that then they can make that decision and determination. So I think I would suggest that we revisit those statutes because this could get the parish in a great deal of trouble, because this also happened in a council meeting when the directors were being chastised and their work performance was discussed in open forum. That is not legal. As far as my recollection, now I was on the school board 16 years and we had a lot of education with regard to legal protocol. And it's been over 6 years since I've been off of the school board. So I beg you to check that out.
Thank you.
Sure.
Any other discussion? We have no update. Move to item 4.
Approval of the minutes from the February 9th, 2017 meeting and the February 27th, 2017 special meeting.
I move to accept the minutes.
And I'll second.
Councilmember Roussel,
Yes.
Councilmember Trufant-Salvat,
Yes.
and Councilmember Gino is absent.
Having no further business to come before the committee, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Councilmember Roussel,
Yes.
Councilmember Trufant-Salvat,
Yes.
and Councilmember Gino is absent.
And the meeting is adjourned at 9:54.